Third grade science unit, plants and pollination, planning instruction for engagement, LM 200, Renee Heathman. Description of the science unit. Hello, my fellow third grade team at Liberty Oaks Elementary School. Thank you for joining me for this presentation and planning an engagement unit for our students in the subject of science. Now, I'd like to just introduce this unit. You can make learning about plant reproduction, pollination, and parts of a flower fun and interactive with your third grade students. This comprehensive resource includes lesson plans, engaging activities, hands-on labs, vocabulary tools, quizzes, and more to help your students understand the fascinating world of plants. Now, with worksheets and an interactive notebook that they can use, this science unit is designed to keep our students actively engaged in learning about the world of plants. It includes high quality, real-life mini vocabulary posters that provide visual support and QR codes that can give our students access to kid-friendly websites for further exploration on the wonderful world of plants. Now, what is included in this third grade science unit and what is available for you to use to teach this unit and to engage your students while introducing them to this unit? Okay, what is included in this unit are the following things: easy to follow lesson plans, mini vocabulary, word wall and cards, vocabulary posters, vocabulary photables and note pages to help reinforce key concepts of the unit, anchor chart ideas and resources, great for a class discussion and a group instruction session, pollination introduction slides, and also includes guided questions to help you stay on a safe path and course with your students, comprehensive sequence of events, activities, flower diagrams that they can make in 3D versions, a pollination lab, which is very exciting. They get to use, recreate the pollination process, which is pretty cool. Then there's QR codes and website links to help them further research this unit and to find digital learning extensions. There are word searches, drawing prompts, and writing activities to engage practice of the knowledge that they have learned. And then, of course, there is a quiz at the end of the unit and an answer key is provided. What will have your students learned upon completion of this unit? Well, stick around and I will let you know. Okay, this exciting unit will provide many avenues of knowledge for your students and your class. Some of the things that they will have learned upon the completion of this unit are as follows. They will have learned how plants reproduce, the process of pollination, the role of pollinators in spreading pollen, the parts of a flower and their functions, and then what defines a flowering plant. This resource does a good job of explaining pollination in a straightforward and simple way. It also has some hands-on engaging activities for students, And this unit does a great job of demonstrating pollination and the pollination process. Unit lesson plans. Okay, let's just go through the lesson plans just to kind of give you an idea of what takes place on the 5 days involved in this unit. Day 1, students will understand the purpose of pollination, new vocabulary, words associated with the pollination process will be introduced and will be referenced throughout this whole unit. On day 1, the class will create an anchor chart together within a group discussion about pollination, and students will complete the vocabulary word set sheet by participating in a write the room activity. This is an engaging learning activity where students move around the room, finding and interacting with posted cards or prompts, and then record their answers on a recording sheet. Day 2, the students will read an article and answer the questions associated with the article to show their understanding of what they've read. And also, the answering of the questions will help them with their retention of what they read. We will go over the answers in class, of course, and then there will be a vocabulary match game played with a partner. Day 3, students will complete a sequence of events and of activities. Vocabulary review will take place. We will review the article from yesterday to help break down how pollination helps pollinate plants step by step. And the class will then draw each step of the pollination process and what it would look like in their science notebooks. On day 4, there will be a video about pollination, and then afterwards the students will label the parts of a flowering plant. You will review with them what pollinators are and talk about how pollen is spread from flower to flower, and then there will be an additional video that will be watched where students will take notes in their science notebooks to help reinforce the things that have been learned thus far in this unit. They will share what they have learned in a group discussion, and then they will complete a diagram of a flowering plant and its parts. And finally, on day 5, the students will complete a lab. They will have a hands-on presentation of how pollination happens, and they will use juice boxes, and those juice boxes will represent nectar of the flower, and then Cheetos will represent pollen. And then the students will review the lab and record their results in their science interactive notebook. At the completion of the lab and their notations made, they will write a poem about flowers and about spring. Now, at the end of the students will be able to discuss all the parts of a flowering plant, the function of a flowering plant, and then the complete pollination process, and will be able to recreate the pollination process through the lab that they will complete on day 5. Bloom's taxonomy can be found throughout this whole unit, and remembering will take place in day 1. Upon completing day 2, the students will have a greater understanding of pollination. Upon the completion of day 3, the students will start applying what they have learned in day 4, will allow the students to analyze the things that they have seen and learned and have discussed with fellow classmates. And day 5 will bring the evaluating and the creating process for the students. Bloom's taxonomy is very important in the education process, in the learning process. And this unit, this science unit, will demonstrate each of these aspects of Bloom's taxonomy.